Hi, Gloria Lybecker here with Healing You. Today I spent some time with a person who has suffered incredible neglect throughout their entire life. And they've been on a long journey of healing, of reclaiming their sense of self. And one of the things they shared was that it was like riding a jaggedy roller coaster. Have you ever ridden one of those? It can actually jar you in your bones. You can get off and never be the same again. And it's been really confusing for this person to even know who they are and where they are, even how they've even gotten as far as they have in their life. So just taking it slow, being really relational, taking time to be with whatever experience unfolds is really important. Just acknowledging what it's like when you've had so many years where you've felt slammed, boxed up. Sometimes it feels like being in a vice grip. It's so intense. I've heard some say that it's a mindless and terrible place to be in this yo-yo of here I am and now here I'm gone. Now, neglect can affect us in so many different ways. There's our individual experience, and then there's also the collective experience. The experience that happens inside of us, but then there's the experience that happens inside of us when we are with others. But we don't feel felt. We don't feel seen or heard. We don't feel included. Well, I'm grateful to acknowledge that some of the people are recognizing that they need to be on their individual path of healing in order to be available for others. And that's important. One person was recognizing that their life, that they had a person that took care of them that was a Black woman. And from that experience, this person developed compassionate understanding that they don't believe they would have had otherwise if it wasn't for that relationship that supported them throughout their life. And then there's the experience of being really triggered by white women, especially white women that have this air about them that they know something. And being equally, or if not more, triggered by white men that act with this air of privilege, this status, this power, this way of being in the world. And they end up with this sense of not belonging anywhere, not fitting in anywhere, being the bottom of the totem pole, completely excluded. And yet in that collective experience, when they're out in the public setting, they feel that no one knows them. That people don't recognize that there's an exclusion that's even happening. So there's, in those moments with this level of neglect, there's an incapacity to speak up. There's no way to even know how to ask for help, or that help would even be possible. There has been such a limited experience of anybody being interested or checking in with them. If they're quiet, people just know that's just the way they are. They don't know how to express because they internalize everything. It's an implosion that happens within them. And sometimes it can feel like a ticking time bomb. Really needing to have a pressure cooker, have that release valve, psh, to let some of that steam out, to let some of those emotions begin to surface and to be held and caught. One person was just acknowledging just how unworthy they felt due to the neglect. As a child, they would just follow others, trying so desperately to fit in. And just acknowledging that it was such an oddity, even then. And then just being accustomed to being told, this is how it is. And never questioning that, just making sure you do what you're told. Because that was a way to attempt to fit in. So I want to acknowledge, perhaps there's a need for acknowledgement about how it actually feels to have this strange disconnect inside of not being allowed to be and not being. There's like a void or a very dark cloak that can be felt by some who have experienced this. And how important it is to be able to have a place where they can begin to feel felt. They can begin to get gotten. They can begin to be heard and seen for who they really are. To be able to acknowledge their heart of compassion. To acknowledge that spark of integrity that's deep within them, that shines. And to foster that, to kindle and foster that with warmth and care and gentleness. Because many who have been neglected in this way, they need to develop the capacity to even know it's safe to receive warmth from another. They need to develop the capacity to be in relationship with others, to learn how to read the nonverbal cues that they were not synced up with to learn. And it is possible to do this. And it's really important work. So I want to honor the lives of those who have journeyed so far to find the resonance in their life that their heart has needed. And I celebrate you. And I thank you for your trust and for your willingness to be on your journey. You're an inspiration to me. Thanks for being on the journey with me today. Healing you.